My fiance went missing last Monday. I got video footage of his nephews carrying his body out. I got video footage of the last time he went inside his house and everything. And I'm trying to get everything out. The police already know. They not making they not sitting here posting his nephews. They not sitting here posting him. He was 69. He was a diabetic. And I left work last Monday because he wouldn't answer my phone call. His sister's involved. His nephew's involved.
In New Orleans, a woman has been desperately trying to search for her fiance, who's been missing for the past few weeks. Alphonse Hogan Jr., better known as Big June, was last seen on August 3rd, 2026. On that day, around 10 o'clock in the morning, he did his usual walk with his two dogs, and then a few hours later, he will walk around the corner from his home to another person's home and disappear without a trace. What made his fiancee grow concerned was after she tried to reach him while she was at work and he was not answering her calls. She would ultimately leave work early and go home, and he was nowhere to be found. After hours and hours passed and he never showed up back home, she knew something was terribly wrong because he would never leave his two dogs. She would go to law officials and let them know that her fiance was missing, and she would also canvass the neighborhood for camera footage to see if anyone saw anything. After one neighbor reviewed their footage, this is when a terrible discovery was possibly made, and it looks as though Big June's disappearance might possibly be foul play. What the men appeared not to be aware of was the house directly across the street had 24-hour video surveillance on both sides of their home, capturing everything that took place. You will see a white van that a man by the name of Frederick Johnson, who also goes by Freddie, or in the streets he is known as Black Man, and he is allegedly the person that is driving that vehicle. At some point, there was also a passenger inside of that white van, and that man is supposed to be the cousin of Frederick. Then there will be a third man who is more heavier set than the other two, and he will pull up in a gray Audi. However, his identity is unknown. However, he and Frederick are said to be the two people allegedly carrying Big June's body after Freddie, aka Black Man, unalived his own uncle.
This Freddie pulling up. Why you swoop all the way to the left like you trying to acting like you going down the other street, and then you sit here and swoop all the way like that. Y'all about to see right there, Freddie and Junior about to get out the car. Freddie's driving. Junior is the one in the green. Watch me blow this video up. You gonna sit here and see Junior in the green right there, pulling out something out of his clothes. To me, look like a gun. Then they partner, they pulled up. I don't know who he is. I never seen him before in my life. He gonna pull up in a minute in a gray Audi. I think I'm gonna have to fast forward it, y'all. Let's see. Cause I can't remember how many minutes before he pulled up. Cause I'm going through both of my phones. There go Junior right there. Junior was the lookout. The man in the Audi about to pull up. And that's the man that came out with his body. It's custom made because he got that stuff on the top of it. That's the dude that was in the white shirt that helped carry his body out. There go Freddie. Y'all see Freddie coming out the door. They're going to chop it up with him, telling him the business. That's Freddie. Dude about to park and bring his big fat funk ass out. Y'all tell me that ain't the same man that was sitting here dragging out my fiance body? Junior right there in that car back there. He called himself looking out. There you go right there in the corner. You see? There's Junior right there with the door open. Let me fix the angle. Hold on a second. So y'all can see again of them bringing his body out. I got it going in slow motion so y'all can see it clearly. And just so y'all know, Kendra, that's her brother, Junior. That's why she's sitting here going at y'all on the page. She's sitting here saying this and saying that. Like I did something to the body. I wouldn't be sitting here on live. I wouldn't be sitting here posting nothing if I did something to his body. Dashell, none of his family don't believe me because all of them, every last one of them, know what happened to him. They kept sitting here telling me this man was at work. When I looked at that video footage from the camera, I knew that he was not at work because he didn't have no work clothes on. This man always had on long pants and his work shoes and stuff. His work shoes was in the house when I got home. So they sit here the whole entire time telling the police that I'm not nobody. I'm just somebody he was just sitting here sleeping with and everything. Yeah, his sister is involved, Elizabeth Johnson, Frederick Johnson, her son, and Junior. I don't know what the fuck his name is. And I don't know who this big fat dude is. But y'all ain't finna get away with this. I promise you not. The police, the only thing they sent her saying is that they don't have any information that they could tell me. Until I sat there and told them I seen his nephew carrying his body out, they didn't want to admit anything. I told them I seen his body being carried out on video. And that's when they admitted that, yeah, they seen the video too. They have not posted him on the news. They have not did no bolo for the nephews or none of that. They sat here and said they got arrest warrants out for him. Y'all should have never let him leave the crime scene. Y'all should have never done that. If y'all notice, this van got tinted windows. It's dark. Freddie came out there and moved stuff around to make room for the body. When I sit here and say I done studied everything, I done watched everything, and that's why I'm in so many pieces right now. Here they come, y'all. I got it in slow motion. What is they carrying out? What is they sitting there struggling with? Same nephew. They finna put his body on the ground. He about to open the door back up on the van and put his body in there. You see, he opening the door on the van. Now they picking up his body. No, the nephews haven't been back. I know my real friends and my families have been sitting here watching. They know I was not doing this for no clout, for no views, for none of that. Because I'd have never done that. But I'm not getting the justice that I need right now. Yeah, I feel threatened. I do. Because anytime you sit here and do something to this man was good as gold. This man would have gave you any everything. And I mean that. That man, when we first started dating, that man used to take my daughter to school, take my daughter to work, everything. That man was good as gold. He didn't ask for nothing from nobody. That man was sitting here living Social Security check to Social Security check. He went out and hustled and made money as far as cutting grass and stuff. But he didn't have no money. Nothing like that. His sister Elizabeth, she is in his policy, his life insurance policy. I don't know how much it is. I don't know what reason why they did this to him. I don't know why, nothing.
Now, according to Big June's fiance, there is no clear motive why they would do something like that to their own uncle. But what is known is that Frederick Johnson, aka Black Man, had recently got out of jail for taking someone's life back in 2013. According to official records, Frederick was booked on second-degree murder for the unaliving of Reuben Brown III on May 1, 2013. After being sentenced for that murder, just a year later while still locked up, he tried to take the life of another inmate along with some other people, and he was charged with attempted second-degree murder. He was even said to be housed with some of the most harmful offenders. And even with all of that and with his criminal past, he was already out of jail and back on the streets. But why would you take your own uncle's life? And it appears that he is definitely a danger to society.
I'm going to give about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to break down to you my notes from the video footage to everything. And after that, I'm going to do a question and answer. So save your questions till I finish telling you the breakdown of everything. I'm going to give you the whole breakdown from the video footage. I've watched 1,000 angles of the video footage. So I know what's what, and I done calculated times for different stuff and everything else. Thank you, KK. I am careful. I'm in a secluded area. Don't nobody know where I'm at. I ain't even worried about that. I promise you I'm not. All right. At 10:52 a.m. Monday, I seen Freddie on the camera acting suspiciously. At 11:03, Alphonse came back from walking his dogs. At 11:05, Freddie came back. Freddie sat in his van to 11:44, and then he left. Freddie pulled back up at 12:58. At 12:59, Freddie walked in the duplex on Johnson Street, which is Junior house. The same house that has the little pink water thing. I don't know what you call it. At 1 p.m., Alphonse walks inside the house on Johnson Street. At 1:08 p.m., Freddie walks out the house on Johnson Street. At 1:37, Freddie pulls back up in the van. Between 1:39 and 1:40, the man in the gray Audi pulls up inside. When I said 1:37, Freddie pulled up with Junior / Benjamin / Junior, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Freddie and Junior, they went inside the house. The man in the gray Audi, he pulls up and he goes into the house on Johnson Street.
So earlier in the video, when I was given the breakdown, I showed you how the man in the gray Audi pulled up, and then the next thing you seen was them bringing the body out. However, there is more footage before they allegedly brought the body out that Big June's fiance is going to speak about.
At 1:46 p.m., Freddie walks out the house on Johnson Street and goes down on Lapperouse, which is the street where the main house is that we were living in. All right. That's when you sit there and see him, the bags that I said here and I showed y'all that he had. I had been skipping around the video. I should have paid close attention. I did not. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a bad connection. Between the hours of 1:56 p.m. and prior to 2 p.m., Freddie went back to the van and he was moving stuff in the back of the cab of the van on Johnson Street in his van. At 2:04, Freddie and the man in the gray Audi is seen carrying something out of Johnson Street, looks like a body. So I done gave y'all a breakdown of everything. So I'm doing a question and answer. I am in a safe location. Me and him did not share locations. I had his login information. I had all of that stuff. His information, it dropped. His phone was pinged on St. Governor's Nichols Street. And then it went out from there. And I don't understand why it went out from there unless they damaged the phone because he had an iPhone. Yeah, I understand that sometimes the police, KK, will gather all the information behind the scenes in the investigation. But at the end of the day, he's been missing since the 3rd of August. They should have sat here and did a missing person report. The man is 69 years old and he's a diabetic. They should not have waited. Have you spoken and been contacted by the cousins? I sat here and I called his sister, which is Freddie's mom. I called Junior's wife, Benjamin's wife, and I told them, I said, y'all know that I have video footage of your son and your husband carrying out Alphonse's body. They told me, no, send it to me. I sent it to them. After I sent them that video footage, they stopped answering my phone call. They stopped answering. Did they find his body? No, they haven't found his body. Where is his phone? The police and I tracked his phone to St. Governor's Nichols here in Louisiana. and we weren't able to locate it, and it's not showing up anymore. If the police try searching, they didn't have to try to search the house. The same day that he went missing, that he wasn't answering the phone, they searched both sides of the house. The crime lab came out, and they came out again for a second time. They came out 3 times. They got a blood there. They found drugs out there. Yes, they did. No, I don't live close to them. KK, my place of employment it's already on my Facebook page anyway. So that really don't even matter. That does not matter at all. No, the police is not helping. I talked to the detective, and the detective is sitting here telling me, well, we have information and stuff, but this information we can't sit here and share with you at the moment. My first time when I talked to him, he told me that same stuff. But then after I talked to him the second time, after I seen the video footage of them carrying his body out, I told him, I said, look here, let me tell you something. I said, I seen the video footage of them carrying out a body. The detective in New Orleans admitted to me on the phone that yes, they seen them carrying out a body. I already knew they found drugs and they found blood from overhearing the officers when they came over there. Crime lab came over there 3 times. Why was this place not taped up? Why was this place not shut down? After they left, I stayed in their house for 5 days. And when I finally seen that video footage, I left. Because I promise to you guys, if you sit here and go in that neighborhood and you sit here and ask anybody up and down those streets, at least for 5 or 6 blocks about Alphonse, they'll sit here and tell you, that man was sweet, he was nice, he walked his dog, he said her respectfully, he didn't bother nobody, he didn't mess with nobody. We don't know where his phone is. It's not showing up no location no more. Is any of his family worried about him? No, they're not worried about him because they sit here and threaten me with all type of stuff when I started posting stuff. Yeah, it's cameras all over the way. That's how I was able to upload the video footage that you guys got. I got it from a neighbor footage. Let's see. Why post the actual name of the place though? Dinah, what do you mean, why post the actual name of the place, though? What place? I'm confused. Where we were living at? I'm confused. Please tell me. He does not have any living relatives as far as a mom and dad. He has a sister and he has nephews and stuff. The same nephews that killed him. The same sister that's one of the nephews is his mama. Is there any reason they would want to harm her? No, there's no reason. Where are the neighbors at? I don't know. When it happened, the police came at 10 o'clock. All right. Now, mind you, I've been sitting here calling the sister, and I've been sitting here talking to the nephew all day long, waiting for the police to come. New Orleans Police Department is slow as fuck about coming out. His nephew, Freddie, sat there and lied in my fucking face and told me, well, he probably at work or something. He opened the door to the same place that he carried his body out of and told me, where you think he hiding it, up under the bed? But this is before I even see the footage of anything. That man sat there and literally lied in my face. And that's the part that killed me. And I kept sitting here telling them, he's not at work. Because I looked at our video footage camera on our Ring camera. And it only shows him coming out the house. And he didn't have no work clothes on. Y'all seen him coming out the house. Do those look like fucking work clothes to you? Some short pants? Please tell me. I don't want to hear nothing about no police move slow. Ain't that slowness in the world? After I sent her and told these people he had never sent her and left his dogs. He has no children that's actually his at all. He only have children through relationships, this, that, and the other. His dogs, Red and Mama, was his children. Do you know why they would do anything to him? I keep sitting here telling you, no, I don't. They should have done a welfare check. Listen, they went inside the house we was living in. I don't know why y'all keep asking me the same question. The same day he went missing, they went into that house. They went into both sides of the house where the nephews were dwelling at. The nephews did not live there personally. Okay? Freddie, I already suspected he stole drugs. Freddie was sitting here selling cars and all type of shit, pulling up in all type of luxury cars, this, that, and other. That van that he was in, that was his work van, his work truck. All right? That's not no new van or nothing that I just seen. I've been seeing that van. That's what y'all don't understand. And as far as Benjamin Jr., he was an electrician. He was riding a Cadillac truck. All right? So let's get that clear. There has to be surveillance in the city that could locate the movement of it. I'm pretty sure it is. But I'm pretty sure the Audi that sat there and swooped in as soon as Freddie left off with the body was blocking every fucking thing. The Audi did not have any tags on it. I already zoomed in. I don't know if any of the family worried anymore because I'm not calling them no more. Because after I sent them their video footage and they don't care, why would I sit there and call them anymore? Maybe she's good as guilty. I don't know about a motive. I don't live close to him. I don't know if they question anyone with the videos. Listen. When the police arrived on the scene on the 3rd, which was 10 o'clock, his sister and 2 of his nieces was there. Freddie was there. And they all sat there and said that, you know, he at work and this, that, and the other. All type of stuff. You know, it was just a whole thing. The police went in and they searched. They went in with some infrared lights or whatever. It's this, that, and the other. They came back the day after that with the crime lab. I overheard them sitting here talking about they found drugs in Freddie's side of the house. I also overheard them sitting here talking about it was blood on Junior's side of the house, which is where Alphonse was last seen going inside of the house. All right? There's no motive. There is no reason why. Y'all just don't understand me. It's not always a motive behind this or that or whatever. Because the only motive I can see is because the sister. Now, let me fast forward to the next day. When the crime lab came back out. I sat here and the officer sitting here talking to me, asking me how long we've been together, engaged, this, that, and the other. His sister got real offensive, talking about some, no, she lying, this, that, and the other. Her own son, when he pulled up on the scene, he sat there and said, I don't want to hear nothing about his fiance and none of that. She ain't nothing. The same person that sat here and carried his body out sat there and said that. Me, I'm still not seeing this video footage until I'm sitting here, I'm broke down And I'm like, let me go look at this video footage. Let me find out what's really going on with the situation. Elizabeth Johnson covered up for her son, Freddie Johnson, and covered up for her nephew. Alphonse has 2 pit bulls. I'm glad you said there and mentioned it. Better me, better her. Listen, I seen a couple of comments where they sat there and said that Freddie went in there in the house and got something from Alphonse's house. Listen, when I sit here and tell you this, his boy dog Red could sit here and smell him when the door was closed. He'll wake up out his sleep and smell Freddie and start barking. Freddie got negative energy, a negative vibe. He did that every time he seen them, non-stop. What dog, you know, they're going to sit here and smell somebody after they sleep and jump up and start barking? That's negative energy. I'm telling you. He got 2 pit bulls. He walked them 4 or 5 times a day. He loved them dogs. That was his children. He would have never abandoned them. Not in a million years. The dogs are still at the house. They're being fed. I don't go over there. I have somebody else going over there and feed them. I am safe. Don't nobody know where I'm at. I see a lot of y'all telling me to call the FBI to go do this and go do that. I'm not able to do anything until Wednesday. What y'all don't understand is, after that man went missing, I left my job and I just went back to my job this Saturday just passed. Taking all type of sick days and vacation days. And I don't never miss work. Never. I'm safe because I believe those were drugs in the bags they brought. Yeah, I do too. That was definitely drugs. What y'all don't understand is Frederick Johnson did not live there. Frederick Johnson stayed in a probably $200,000-$300,000 house in Gonzales. He did not live there. He only came there to conduct business. As far as Benjamin, he didn't live there. Benjamin has a whole wife and he got about 20 kids. And when I say 20 kids, I'm not lying. He got 20 kids. He does not live there. They only came there to do whatever the fuck they was doing. But Alphonse, he minded his own business. He sat there and smoked and probably drunk a beer with his nephews or drunk a drink with them, this, that, and the other, as far as I've been seeing him. But that man ain't never did nothing out the way. No, I have not identified the driver of the Audi. I don't know who that is. I've never seen him before in my life. Trust me, listen. Let me tell you guys something. I am not from New Orleans. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm from the North Memphis. I was born and raised. Half of the shit y'all got going on in New Orleans, that's nothing. I promise you it's nothing. And y'all already know we stayed on the first 48. So that right there, watching my back, that shit right there is irrelevant. A motherfucker pull up if they want to. It is not about no money, KK. I promise you it's not. Yes, he's from New Orleans. Lord. Let me see. Who was saying to me? The family, better me, better her. Yeah, he has an insurance policy. His sister, Elizabeth Johnson, is over it. His phone is not pinging anywhere. They done destroyed it. Ain't nobody seen the nephew since then. They have not been back over there. I think the phone was pinged probably maybe 2 miles from the house. Tanisha, what you mean she's talking about my job? If anybody really been sitting here following this situation, they'll know that his family been sitting here making threats to me and y'all about sharing and posting anything. They do have warrants out for their arrest. The van has not resurfaced. It's not a coroner van. That man used that van a whole lot. I don't know how the nephew keep getting away with killing people. I don't know. I don't have his iCloud information. I only have his Gmail. No, his nephews never asked for money. They had money. What was my first thought when he didn't answer? My first thoughts when he didn't answer was that maybe he's outside walking the dogs. He left his phone inside. I originally called him at 10 something. He didn't answer the phone. So I called back at 1 o'clock. He still didn't answer the phone. So cool. I'm at work. I'm working. I called back on my lunch break. I went to lunch around 2 something. He still didn't answer the phone. So at that point I got worried because he's on a new medicine for his diabetes. And his sugar been running low. So that's when I called his sister Elizabeth Johnson, and I told her, I said, can you go check on Alphonse? She was like, why? I said, he's not answering the phone. Oh, he's probably at work, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, he ain't answer the phone in hours. I said, can you just go by there? Okay, well, I'm at the store. I'm going to go check on him. So she called me back. All his cars out here, he's not answering the door. He's probably then rolled off with somebody. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I just had something in the pit of my stomach just told me just leave work. So I went and told my manager, I said, I gotta go. I said, I got a feeling something ain't right. So y'all just sit here and think about it. Between me sitting here calling him at 1 something. 1 something is in between the time that Freddie and Junior and this unidentified man sat here and literally killed him and drug his body outside. Just think about it. If I would have left right then when he went answering the phone at 1 something, I probably would have been able to see everything that actually had happened. I'd have probably seen them actually carrying the body out. I probably would have been able actually to see that shit. I'm sitting here thinking that they sat here and heard his phone constantly ringing. They seen it was me. And that's why they rushed out to take his body out in broad daylight. I don't think that they actually wanted to take his body out right then and there in broad daylight. I think they wanted to wait until it got dark outside. So, anyway, after that happened, I get there, and the sister sitting here saying, like I said, the same thing. He at work, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, he's not at work. soon as he would have realized he didn't have his phone, he would have set her and went back and got his fucking phone. He had worked this, that, and the other. And so that's when her son pulled up, Freddie. And he was like, oh, I seen Unc earlier. He said he was finna sit here and go walk the dogs, and he's about to go do some work, this, that, and the other. This motherfucker sat here literally, and I'm telling you folks, lied in my face. After he just sat here and carried his own uncle outside and unlived him. Lied in my face. So you see now why this is a big ordeal for me. Why anything that I have, any information I get, I am going to share it. And anything I give y'all is not going to be any kind of false information. None of that. And that's just a fact. So what ended up happening was she sat out there for a while, like I said, and then the like I said, the police came around 10 o'clock. And they just sat there and said, oh, our uncle, okay, he probably this, that, and the other. But in so many words, what they was really trying to sit here and imply was that he was with some other woman, that he'll be back when he get ready to get back. But at the end of the day, that man don't care what type of woman he with. That man would have brought his ass back to the house, and he would have sat there and went and walked his dogs. At the end of the day, he's not gonna never not walk his dogs. So after the second day, when I told y'all that the sister and the son was getting all aggressive and all this, that, and the other, and they wanted to sit here and tell me, I was trying to go down the street because I was finna go sit on the neighbor porch while they did what they did. Oh, you can't leave the scene of the crime. But then, why I see Freddie leaving the scene of the crime? Why the fuck I see Junior, Benjamin, leaving the scene of the crime? Just make it make sense. You know, I just don't understand it. So I'm just sitting here out of my mind, and I'm puzzled to death, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I'm sick. And that's when I started investigating. I've been sitting here watching Perry Mason, Matlock, and everything else since I was a little girl when it comes to investigating. And that's when I sat there and put on my thinking cap. And I started canvassing the whole neighborhood looking for video footage. And that's when I seen everything. Y'all want to sit here and ask me about New Orleans Police Department or whatever? To me, they corrupt. I don't care what you say. I don't care nothing about them not revealing no information. You ain't got to reveal no information to me. What I need you to do is to call the fucking news and tell the news this man been missing since August the 3rd. And he's nowhere to be found. Why is he nowhere to be found? Please tell me that. They ain't had no beef. He don't beef with people like that. That was in his younger days. The nephews probably wanted him to do some shit. He wasn't going to do it. If a person want a hideout spot, they don't live there. They come there to fucking hideouts. They pay rent in them fucking units. Shay. That's what the fuck they did. They paid rent and they came and they went. They had fucking wives. I don't know what was in the bag. No, the audit didn't have any plates on it. I contacted the news people. They give me a runaround. What did the family say as far as threatening me? After I started posting the videos, they told me that I'm sitting here delirious and this, that, and the other. And if any one of y'all share them, that basically you're going to get made an example out of just like me. Don't worry. I'm safe. You can believe that. I'm a very cautious person. Of course they probably trying to do something to me. Of course, Alyssa, his family watching me on Facebook, all on fake pages and everything else. I don't care. Keep on watching my page, baby. Your family gonna get caught, believe that. I stand on it. That's a fact.
Even though this whole situation has been a heavy burden for his fiancee, she continues to push forward trying to get answers. Some of the family allegedly do not believe, even though they are all aware. And one loved one will write, "If anyone's seen my Uncle June, please reach out to me or any other of my family members." Alphonse Hogan, Uncle June, was last seen leaving his home in the 6th Ward yesterday afternoon, which would have been August 3rd, and has not been seen or heard from since. This is not like him. Please share this post and please reach out if you know anything. There is no reason my uncle should be missing. This is very much out of character, and things just are not adding up. Nothing about this entire situation looks okay. And thank God the neighbor had 24-hour surveillance so everyone could see what took place. Anyone with eyes could see that they appeared to be carrying a body, and it didn't look like anything else could have been in that bag. And I just hope and pray that law officials are taking this case very seriously. If everything is as it appears, Frederick needs to be off the streets for good. So if anyone knows anything or seen anything or knows of his whereabouts, please contact the local authorities because he has taken someone's life before. He has tried to take someone's life before in jail. Then now his uncle, who was last seen going into where he was at, and there is no telling what else he just might do. Why someone would come in broad daylight in the middle of the day and help someone allegedly get rid of a body is very disturbing. Please share this story because not only his fiance, but his family and all the people who truly love him need to know the truth. I truly commend his fiance for urgently spreading the word and trying to do everything in her power to get answers. My heart really hurts for her, knowing that she's had to watch that video over and over, trying to spread awareness about what has happened. It is very sad and it is very tragic. Again, if anyone knows anything or anyone in those videos or anyone that was involved, please contact your local authorities. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and share, share, share to make your people aware because this is an urgent situation. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.